Everybody, today I'm going to show you how to program your Minitor pagers with Arduinos or any other 5-volt serial to UART device. So let's get started. Not serial to UART, USB to UART. Sorry, y'all should know that. So yeah. Let me just take a thumbnail picture. Okay, so it's very simple. It's just pretty much self-torture, so yeah. So if you want to imagine what if you don't own a Minitor pager and you're just watching this video for fun, and you want to imagine what it feels like to do this, go outside, grab any sharp but still quite blunt object, and stab yourself with it multiple times, and you should understand what it's like programming a Motorola Minitor with an Arduino. So yeah, alright, and what we're gonna need is an Arduino or any other 5-volt USB to UART serial conversion things, a USB cable. So let's plug that in and get congratulated by Windows. Okay. So now we're gonna need a crap ton of jumpers, so let's just put some of those there. Yeah, that should be good. And now we're just gonna start plugging things in. No, I'm just kidding. Alright, but really, we're just gonna need a few jumpers here. Let me just try to get these out of the way. We don't need any super long ones, just a few here. Should do fine. Okay. So, basically, we're gonna need a jumper cable that will put... we will need a jumper cable that will connect the Arduino's reset pin. So the Arduino's reset pin there, it will be connected to ground. This tells the microcontroller to it's in a resetting loop. So yeah, it's kind of doesn't know what to do. It's just kind of sitting there doing nothing. The USB chip, however, has now connected its USB pins directly to the TX and RX port. So that means that we can then start jabbing things into the TX and RX port, and it's just like we're completely bypassing the microcontroller and just using the little USB to serial converter. So what we're going to do is we're now going to take our Minitor pager and we're going to put it into option or mode C. That is the programming mode, so I will be putting it in mode C, and I'll tell you what you need to do. So, all right, so you put it in mode C, and we're gonna hold down the monitor button, and we will now turn it on, and you should hear a really loud beep. Oh, all right, something is wrong. Okay. Oh, that went into test mode. All right. So if you hold it down, and you push it while it's still making that piercing beep, then it will test all of its functions. So that's that's nothing. That's standby or whatever. That's the red LED, yellow LED, vibration. Yeah, it's in an endless loop. So we'll go ahead. Actually, we will not be putting it in programming mode. That's how you put it in programming mode. But we will not put it in programming mode yet. We will connect it up to the Arduino. So you shouldn't. So the bare necessities that you need to connect is ground, TX, and RX. But if you've ever done this before, which if you're watching this video you probably haven't, you're gonna know that you're probably gonna want to use your 5-volt rail as well. Now this will charge it. That's how the dock works. It will charge it if you have rechargeable batteries in there. But the Arduino can't supply enough power to charge it. It's just helping, keep it powered. If your batteries aren't fresh, these are brand new batteries, so it shouldn't really matter. But it's just a good habit to connect the 5-volt rails together, just because of weird voltage things. So let me tell you the pinout real quick. Now this all varies per the pinout varies per mode. So in programming mode, pin 1 is power plus 5 volts. Pin 2 is ground. And this is from looking with the back facing up like this, clip facing upwards, and from left to right. So pin 1, 2, and all the way over here is whatever it is. So basically, so pin 1 here, that's power. Then we've got ground. Then we have an unused pin for programming. That's unused for programming. Then we have a data received from programmer. Yeah, I'm looking at this very bad image. But the data received from programmer is that is the programmer's transmit. So this is that is the Minitor's receive. Then another unused port. Then the Minitor's transmit port, okay? Which means the Arduino's receive port. So that means that the first one's power, so I will use orange signifying red for power, and I'll just connect to the 5 volts. Yep, that'll just connect right there to the 5-volt rail of the Arduino. Then a black one for ground, and these are spring-loaded, so they should stick in there. I actually have stuff broken off in half the ground ports here, so this is going to be a pain to get that working. Get that shoved in. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. Now, our next thing is an unused port. So that's unused. Then the data received from programmer. So that would go to the Arduino's transmit pin. But in the mode where it's held down on reset and the USB to serial port is connected directly here, that means that they're swapped. So transmit is actually receive and receive is transmit. On most Arduinos, not all of them. But on most Arduinos, the pins are swapped. You're just gonna have to test and see if it works. So that means the data received from programmer would actually go to the receive pin on the Arduino, not the transmit pin, because it's swapped. Then we're gonna skip another pin, and then the final one here, the Minitor's transmit pin goes to the Arduino's receive pin, which is actually labeled as transmit because they're swapped. Okay, so now our concoction has been made, and we will go ahead and get to the software side of things. Alright everybody, so now it's on to the software side of things, and this Paging and Wireless Service Center website actually has the software where you can download it. Now, there is, for the Minitor 3, the logical thing would be to use the Minitor 3 programming software. But since the Minitor 3 and the 4 are pretty much the same thing, pretty much, okay, they're pretty much the same thing. Most people prefer to use the Minitor 4 programming software because the Minitor 3 programming software runs on MS-DOS. So, yeah. Alright. So basically, what we're going to do here is you're going to download it and install the software. And it's actually called Minitor 4 PPS. And it's a pain of a software, but this is what it is. Well, alright, I take that back. It's not that bad of a software, but, you know. Alright, so here it is for the Minitor 4, but it works with the Minitor 3 if you do everything correctly. Alright, so we're going to right click here and we're going to go into Device Manager. Or if you already know the COM port of your Arduino Uno, do it that way. But I'm just going to go in here to ports, and right there it is, Arduino Uno COM 4. We'll go up here, system setup, COM 4, it's already set. Okay. USB to you shouldn't have to mess with that. Okay. So basically, I'm going to go ahead and start up my pager in the whoops, one of my pins came unplugged. That's part of the way you're going to have a lot of torture and pain with programming Minitors. I plan on... then it unplugged from the frickin' Minitor. Poop. Okay. Alright, all is well. I think. Okay. So we're gonna hold down the monitor button, and it's gonna be in the C position on the selection switch. Okay, it's in the C position. Now we're gonna hold down the monitor button and turn it on. Alright, just wait for like the 3 seconds of ear-piercing noises. Okay, so if it all works, then when we click read pager, it should read. Oh wow, worked first time. That's not helping with me saying how much of a pain it is. It worked first time. Yeah. All right, so now you can actually see yeah, now you can actually see the user data here. So right here is your model and all that jazz. Okay. And a 21.7 megahertz IF intermediate frequency. Alright, I guess that's how the mixer's on the receiver. So, right here, the tone system information, you have a drop down, you have Motorola, GE, Plectron, user presets, and fast Plectron. We always set it for user because I like to be able to set my own tones. Okay, so there's 2 channels on this radio. There's also a 1-channel variant, which I believe can be converted to a 2-channel variant. I'm pretty sure it's just a software bug, I believe, but don't quote me on that. All right, now as you can see, I have 2 things. One of these is a local fire department, and yeah, this is the local fire department, I believe. No, never mind, I'm sorry. This is the local fire department. Yep, this is the local fire department, and this is the this is a MERS frequency for testing them. But you can have 2 separate channels. They're both on their own frequencies. This is a VHF pager. There's also a UHF pager. So you can either set these preset coding options, and I believe these might change based on the tone system information. But you can see we can set our own tones here. Then here's channel 2, the MERS. I'm actually going to be swapping out channel 2 for another fire department. I actually like taking my Minitor pager to school with me and keeping in the bag. So I'd like to have the other, since I go to school in a different county from where I live, I'd like to be able to listen to stuff there. Now, I don't actually know the tones, and there's this thing called Two-Tone Finder. I don't think you can get the software anymore, sadly, but, and if it wasn't, and I have the software, but if it wasn't, like, I don't know if it's a privacy thing or a copyright thing, but if I wasn't afraid of illegal things, then I would definitely release it to being public, but I'm pretty sure they took it down for a reason, so, yeah. But it's a really useful software. It's kind of like Two-Tone Detect, but Two-Tone Detect is a lot better. This is like an earlier version. It runs on the same principles, but it's like an earlier version of Two-Tone Detect. But it just responds to all tones it hears. So yeah. Now these only do quick call 2. They don't do quick call 1. I don't believe. So yeah. So I'll go ahead and find. It's really easy to find your local fire department frequencies. So, really simple, just the county fire department frequencies. Tazewell County, Virginia. And, yeah, would make most of our law dispatch around here is on medium frequency, or low band VHF. Air traffic control, schools, business, transportation. Yeah, alright, so we can still look here. Police, fire. Alright. Fire dispatch, that's what we're interested in. Because fire talking and crap. That might be interesting to hear. Especially if you're only looking for one department on a pager. Then you can set one for dispatch, one for the TAC. But since I only want to hear the tones drop and get dispatches and stuff, we're gonna look here. Alright, looks like they have a split on their fire input. I don't... Oh wait, this is Richlands. Okay. 1 second. Fire dispatch, Tazewell County. Oops. Bluefield. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. Wait, no, that's water department. Oops. And all their crap here is, man, a lot of their stuff here is actually... UHF, which won't work on this pager. But, yeah. Fire TAC, Tazewell County. That's just Tazewell County. I don't know if that's Tazewell County. I'll just listen to it, see, or no, that's the TAC. It's so hard to find what I'm looking for. Bluefield, town of, alright, yeah, there we are. Bluefield, fire dispatch, 154145. Okay, 154. So we're just going to enter the frequency here, 154, 145. Then we can also set up tone sets, but I don't know any tone sets, so I'm going to leave them be. I'm just going to take them all out because I don't know any tone sets. I'll listen to it. Alright, so now I have one set up in here. There's a lot of different tone options. Huh. Alright, so we can now go into model option. Alright, and this sets some just standard settings. So stored voice function. Alright, this is dynamic. This is all based off of it's weird. I don't know exactly how this works, but basically dynamic means it will record after a given delay or whatever. It will record as long as the squelch is open after like a certain delay or something, okay? Stored voice function, you can turn stored voice off. If your pager doesn't support stored voice, then, you know, that's probably gonna be blanked out. You can set it so it will, as soon as it's done with the page, it will open the squelch and it will listen and record for 15 seconds, 30 seconds, or a full minute. But dynamic will record pages after that and a given time. Fixed alert, that means that even, I can't remember what that is actually. Let me ask a friend real quick, right on the spot here. Because I'm actually on a call with a friend right now. Let's see, he knows more about this than I do. I don't remember what fixed alert is. So, priority scan, we'll skip that, we'll come back to that. Priority scan, that means that it will scan channel 1 first before the other one, and so it's in priority. Okay. Alright, so fixed alert. That means that that when it goes off, when it goes on an alert, that no matter what the volume knob is at, it will always alert at full volume. I have that off, but you'll never be able to not hear it because even at the volume knob all the way at its lowest, you'll still be able to hear it because you can't turn the volume all the way off. But it does get quite quiet. Oh, alright, he also added, the audio will stay on the volume knob setting, it's just the alert, the beeping, and the alert tones that will be at full volume. Like I said, priority scan. Alert duration, standard. Alright, so usually, the alert duration, when it's standard, that means it will, as soon as it decodes the second tone, it will start beeping until the, it'll start beeping until the second tone stops. So it will beep the duration of the second tone. Or you can set it to fixed, and then it'll probably, I don't know if it'll ask you for how long you want it to beep. And I like it to be standard. Alright, call reminder. I like this on. That, I don't think you can set it, it's either on or off. I don't think you can set it per channel. But what that does is that allows you to, basically what it does is when there's an alert, this only works with stored voice pagers. So, it means that, if there's an alert that went off, if you didn't listen back, if you didn't play back the audio in the stored voice, it will beep every few minutes, or every, I don't know, 30 seconds or something, to tell you that there's a message. Priority alert, I don't know what that does either. Let me ask him. Privacy, don't know what that does either. He knows all this stuff. But, good thing he's right here. Alright, reset function. This all has to do with the stored voice dynamic. Oh, okay. Alright, so reset function, that's how the timer resets for the stored voice. It's complicated. Just leave it on revert in and set the time to whatever it works for your department or for your needs. Squelch level. I just keep it on 7. I've never had an issue with the squelch falling out. I don't even have the best reception here at my house, and I still don't have an issue with it. Alright, he said that, priority alert, makes it so it beeps no matter if it's on, vibrate or not. And I believe that means if you have a channel F1, which is your priority channel, I believe it means that one will beep no matter what. But yeah, okay. So priority alert will only beep on channel 1, but it will beep no matter if it's in vibrate or not. Privacy mode, it makes it so if you push the reset button, it doesn't open the squelch. So, yeah, it's interesting. Alright, that just disables monitoring, the squelch opening button. No, it doesn't, because oh, wait, yeah, never mind, I'm sorry. Alright, so now finally we're on to function switches. Now you can set the four positions on that switch to do different things. So I have 12, and you just have to scroll through these, and they're all different things, as you can see. So I have this one. It's channel 1. It's vibrate. Oh wait, I'm sorry. All right, it's neither channel, and it's an alert tones. That means it will play the tones. It will not vibrate. Duty is not enabled. That's some complicated thing that I'm not getting into. Yeah, so model is scanned, so that's what it does. So it's scanning between the two channels, and push to listen, no. I don't know what that does. What does push to listen do? Oh, duty allows you to disable certain tone sets when in vibrate mode. Okay. Oh, and that is what that's what the on-off duty thing's for. So yeah, you can learn if you're wanting to do advanced stuff like that. You can learn it probably in the help pages and stuff. Switch B, it's on channel 2. Alert tone, on-off duty disabled. I don't need duty on any of these, and it just listens to it, and it plays out the tones, and no push to listen. Okay, so push to listen sets it to record silently on vibrate mode and will be able to replay later. Okay. So that means it doesn't play out if it's on yes, then that means it will not play the alert, the dispatch message over the speaker. It will just record it for you to listen back later. I have that on my last one where vibrate because I have call reminder on. So yeah. So basically, then we have on the switch B, it's channel 2, and it's just listening to channel 2, and it plays back the tones. It's just not scanning between both channels. Channel C is the same, or the function C is the same thing, except it's just on channel 1. Now, one thing is that the batteries, the Minitor 3s run on AAAs, and it will last a really long time. Okay, it will for sure last a really long time. But my friend pointed out that don't use scan unless it's on a dock, or you don't care with your batteries dying, because scan uses up the batteries a lot, and I can agree with that. Scan will eat your batteries up, so don't use scan, especially if you're not using the other channel. So like if I'm at school, I'll probably put it on channel 2 because I don't want to be wasting my battery when I'm not in reception range of the other department. And it does waste your battery, but these can run at least a week on a battery, on running 24/7. And then finally, channel D. That is channel 1, which is my main channel. It's vibrate, so it will not play out the tones. It will just vibrate when it decodes the tones. Still, no duty. Selective call. Okay, that is, that means that... what does that mean? I'm freaking dumb. Okay, I'll come back to that. Push to listen means that it will not play back the, push to listen means that it will not play back the audio. It will not play the audio when it decodes the tones, but it will, play the audio when you push the button on the top for stored voice pagers. And, oh, and selective call means it's... See, monitor just opens the squelch for all radio traffic. Selective call only opens the squelch and the tones for pages only. So you won't hear any radio traffic. Alright, that's literally all that there is to cover, pretty much. And now that I have changed this, we can go ahead and save it to a file. I'll just save it to a Jaden programming update. Why is that in my? Oh, let me just put it in my documents here. Just put it as. Yep. Okay. Save. Okay. Now here's the painful part. Write the code plug to the pager. Yes. And watch it just work. What? Nope. Okay. What did I tell you? It's wanting to do this. Okay, there we go. Okay, it wasn't too painful this time. And now, we can just violently yank out all the wires from the bottom of your Minitor. And unplug your Arduino. And now, your... oh yeah, don't forget to take it out of programming mode. Ah. Now, let me put it in scan. And, now you've got a program Minitor pager. So, yeah. So, I'll try to link this website down in the link below. And, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. And, don't forget to like and subscribe.